them come. This is their fate.
All right. Welcome back to the House of Wolves podcast. I am your host, Deontay. Here are my near and dear friends, Jalen and Josh. Today we got a lot to talk about. A lot of stuff we've been going around on the internet. A lot of console wars because of Spider-Man 2 releasing, Alan Wake 2 being too big for PC. Technically, only 2 or 3 of them can really run it. So a lot of people are up in arms about that. Xbox Showcase was announced. That's for third parties only. Tekken 8 beta, not doing so hot. Super Mario Wonder, and a lot more. So we got a lot to talk about, and we're going to get into it really quickly in short order here. But before we do, as always, Jalen, Josh, tell the people how you been, what you've been up to, what you've been doing, what you've been playing. How's your life going? Inform the people. Let's go, Josh, first.
Yeah, been a pretty good week. Been hanging out with the family. It just celebrated 4 years being married.
4 years.
4 years.
Congratulations.
Time flies.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, we just hung out for a little bit. When you have kids, it's a lot harder to plan a whole getaway.
Yeah.
But we had a nice day. Happy to be married for 4 years. And just waiting for Jalen to reach this milestone.
No pressure.
Somebody gonna get him to pull the trigger, and he gonna do it.
No pressure, G. Let him live his life, man. Let that man live. Let him breathe. Let him breathe.
Man, he's living. I just need him to,
Yeah. Nah. What else you been
Other
up
than
to?
that, just been playing a lot of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Since Deontay convinced us to buy Call of Duty, I've been trying to get in the mood. So I bought Modern Warfare 2019. I bought Modern Warfare 2, and I've been enjoying playing them a lot. I've been playing the multiplayer on Modern Warfare 2. I don't like the balance of it too much, but at least I feel like it has enough content that I can just play a couple fun modes and have fun. Like, I've been playing 24/7 Shipment, and that map is dumb, but you can just go in there and drop 70 kills on not even really trying.
Yep.
So it's fun. And then I've been trying out all the other modes. The co-op is pretty fun. The co-op is like Ghost Recon Wildlands, kind of, where you doing a mission together, and you got to extract and escape at the escape point. So that was actually more fun than I thought it would be. And then finally, I switched over to Modern Warfare 2019 the other day, and I started playing the story. And I didn't know what to expect because I know that people said they liked the story, but I kept thinking back, are they just going to remake the first game story and just make it look nicer? And it is actually very different. I'd say it's more realistic. Like the scenarios that you go through are kind of like stuff you see every day on the news, like countries being bombed and kids and people in hospitals and stuff like that. So it's very realistic and topical, which is good to, I guess, see that portrayed. So I guess well done. And I guess I haven't played Modern Warfare 2 yet, but I know that they are bringing in plot points from the old games. So I'll see how they actually tie those two together. But so far, I'm a pretty good impressions of the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare franchise. The only problem I would say is that the monetization and how they market and sell these games is kind of scamming. I know me and you talked about it a little bit with all the sort of pay to win elements and all of these microtransactions and battle passes and premium battle pass. So it's kind of disgusting, but I enjoy the single player at least, and at least Call of Duty is still fun. So what they say, it has good bones. The
Yeah.
foundation is good. It's just what they're building on top of it is kind of not that great.
Right.
But yeah, I'm gonna keep playing. What I mean, I know y'all gonna talk about y'all week, but what are y'all impressions of how Call of Duty has been? I guess this last generation.
Just to get the Call of Duty topic out the way, I would say that Call of Duty for me is fun, spurts, and right now I am enjoying playing Shipment, and I'm enjoying just relearning the mechanics of the game because I've been away from it so long. I've been putting in a lot of time too, and I just find myself wanting to gravitate back towards it because it's just simply easy to just jump in and jump out. And it's fun to be able to turn your mind off a little bit and kind of just try to win a match and try to make a difference in a match. So, you know me, I'm Jalen's probably most hated, but my technique is to just stop UAVs at all times. So I'm always throwing counter UAVs up, and I'm trying to get counter UAVs because that is basically the most beneficial thing I can do for the team most of the time, because you can really just get a steamrolled pretty quickly if you're not stopping others from just going off with their UAVs, because it's a very powerful thing. So I've always kidded myself out to try to help the team a lot, like especially my score streaks, because my stuff that I don't really care to do the missiles. I don't really care to do anything like that because it's not really important to me. So I'm always been someone that was just trying to make sure the team was doing a little bit better because it's easier for me to win. So that's how I've been playing. I've been playing that role, and it's been fun because I can really see how my techniques are actually helping the battlefield. I use Battle Rage a lot because it's easy, and I just put on a lot of cover sometimes if I'm sniping or whatnot. I don't like the maps that much, but it does provide a little bit more variety. But at the same time, it's just so many different avenues that people can take that sometimes it takes away from the engagement of fighting the lane and holding the lane, because there's just so many routes. But I get that may be boring for others, especially if they're trying to hold down a lane and they're not really trying to play the whole team objective, because that's me. I'm team objective guy. I prefer to do it that way than to kind of run off and to try to kill people on my own. It's not that fun to me. But that's why my kills be high, my deaths be low, because I don't really be moving that much. And if I do move, it's to move with the team, and I try to move with them as they go. So I mean, I'm just, like I said, I'm learning the game again, and it's fun in that regard. The microtransactions, unfortunately, is giving me a bad taste in my mouth. I'm contemplating just buying the $100 version because I'm gonna get the game and the battle pass and a little other stuff. And I realize if I'm gonna buy the battle pass anyway, I'm gonna be at $89 or $60, $75, and I was just like, I think it was like I was gonna be at 87, something like that. Yeah. So if I was to buy that edition, I get the battle pass with it, some extra money and some other skins and some other stuff. But it would be probably the most useful if I'm going to buy the battle pass. But I haven't decided if I'm going to buy the battle pass yet. But that if I was going to go that route, because I'm buying it digitally anyway, because I'm buying it on PC. I wasn't playing on my Xbox. And you do know that if you get unlocked coins on your Xbox, they don't transfer over to your PC. So if you bought that battle pass, you can't spend the battle pass coins you got unless you boot up this console you bought them on, because they don't transfer over. So just be conscious of that if you're going to buy anything from them. But yeah, I got like 500 coins. I was like, okay, I could try to put a little something together and buy the battle pass. And it was like, you gotta buy it on here. And I was like, why I gotta buy it on here? And then I started looking into it. I mean, I guess it didn't matter, because once you unlock the battle pass, you can still carry that top over. Yeah. But I was
You can
just like,
progress it, but if you play on two
yeah,
consoles, you gotta be careful unlocking stuff because some of
yeah,
your money might lock to the wrong console.
exactly.
And you can't do nothing about it.
So, just being conscious of that stuff. If you're going to be playing Call of Duty, um, it's just something to think about. But and that's where I was kind of going with it. I was just like, yeah, I could do just a regular battle pass, or just not do a battle pass at all. But I'm already going to be spending $75 that I can't get back.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, might as well just put the little extra with it and get the extra stuff and the more coins in case I ever down the road want to buy something from them. But yeah, so that's my decision to make over the next couple of days, because even if I wait till the launch day, it doesn't matter because I'm still unlocking the stuff, and it's not like it gives me a boost or anything for faster unlocks, really. So it's cool in that regard. In Modern Warfare 2, me buying Modern Warfare 2. Oh, go ahead.
It's what I was gonna mention is quickly those small pay to win things. It's a really minor pre-order bonus, but they do give you a boost for this Halloween event.
Oh yeah. The hunting weapon where you can reap more souls.
Yeah,
I did see that, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that's not like a big deal. Like, it's a Halloween event. It's timed. It's limited, but you progress that a lot faster if you're gonna pay money. And there are like a lot of, at least people, like I've been reading about what the community's been saying about this stuff, and it's becoming a little bit more frequent where you can see like, oh, this meta gun is out and it's a part of a bundle that has really good attachments and stuff like that. It has been becoming more common. So at least like if I'm playing Modern Warfare 3 in the future, I'm hoping that it doesn't get worse. But they are at least willing to like put stuff in the game that you can buy that will give you an advantage.
Yeah, and that does worry me. Blueprints, it just basically allows the weapon to be cool before you can unlock the stuff, because you can just create that weapon. Yeah, you can create that weapon once you have all the attachments unlocked. So I feel like that's okay, but at the same time, somebody can pay to just unlock it before you. But at the same time, they can also pay for additional time on the game because they get early access. They can pay for it's muddy. I don't like it. Yeah. I can say that, but it's not the worst thing I've ever seen.
It's not, but we'll see how bad it can get once Modern Warfare 3 actually does come out, because all the guns and attachments and unlocks transfer over day one to Modern Warfare 3. So instead of everybody being at level 1 with no attachments, everybody you're going to be fighting are going to have max level attachments, max level guns, and that's fine, I guess, but the experience for like brand new players who haven't played in a long time is going to be a lot worse, and possibly incentivize like spend some money to get these attachments that these people have spent 2 years working on.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's where I was like, okay.
I don't know how much Warzone 2 you played, Jalen, but like that might be your situation where you got like all level 1 guns, no attachments, and everybody else is like max.
And does they keep...
that's
Oh, go ahead.
Right. Nah, I remember Warzone was a free to play game and stuff like that. So one of the conflicts was that, they're like, I have to do all these hours, do this and the third and stuff like that to get this gun. But these people have been playing, multiplayer or something like that, might have Black Ops or Cold War or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They subject transfer over. So now I'm using using guns. I had to level up and I only use one gun because I'm like, it takes forever to level up the guns, and then they want you to do challenges and just stuff like that. But those challenges is then like you need to do them in multiplayer, but they might say get like 10 double kills with an SMG. You're not going to do that in Warzone as frequently as you can in like the actual game. So that will also be a limitation too. So
yeah,
a lot of that.
Yep. So I think what they did was, at least I don't know how it was always set up, but they had the challenges for Warzone, and then they have challenges for the multiplayer. So it makes it a lot easier for me to get really large XP gains, which I'm going to probably play tonight so I can get those extra XP for playing multiplayer and Warzone. But it also gives you a lot of like the Reaper souls or whatever. But they are doing a decent job. After I understand the system now, because I've been playing it for a little bit, they do a decent job of making sure stuff is rewarding at least, and potentially good for you to keep playing. I don't know the benefit of prestiging or anything like that. I don't really care to look at that. But right now, the experience of me just being able to level up weapons quickly, be able to find success with using new weapons, depending on the type of modes that they have in the game. If I'm trying to snipe, I could play some longer maps. If I'm trying to just run and gun and get my submachine guns up, I can play Shipment 24/7. And there's a plethora of things in between of that you can just really kind of steamroll and to get to where you want to be. So it does do a good job of adding variety and making sure that variety feels as if everything is plausible. There are things that are just better than others, of course, but the blueprints allow you that whole sneak peek, but it's basically like a cheat to me, to kind of see what what weapons can feel like and be like, but you can also level it with the blueprint. So you don't even have to have used the weapon before or have unlocked it, and you can buy a blueprint, unlock the weapon, and start to level it up before you even do the challenge to even be able to buy it, which is, like I said, weird and muddies the waters. But overall, there's a lot going on in the game, and I think they are handling the best they not the best they can possibly can, but they're handling it in a way that I don't feel so annoyed. I think I just have an annoy factor, and I'm not as annoyed with this game as I thought I would be. I still hate the movement. The slide, after I got used to it, isn't the worst thing I've ever played, but this is definitely not my most fun Modern Warfare 2 at all. This is not the fun Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare 1 for me, and then there was like, the older I'm talking about 2019 Modern Warfare, and then there was 3, I like that one, and then this one is just somewhere up in there. But I think there's a lot to understand, and a lot to customize, and that's what I like about it. Because I feel like in this game right now that I'm playing, there's a lot of counters to it, and I was hoping that it was gonna. I was hoping Modern Warfare 3 was gonna fix what I felt like was missing in Modern Warfare 2. But the more that I play it, I feel like there's a lot of counters in this game. So the foundation is there. They just had to change a few things and tweak a few things for me to enjoy it. And I think that's what they did with the Modern Warfare 3 beta. So I'm trusting that I'm going to have a good time. But then again, like I said, I can get annoyed and not want to play no more. But right now, I'm enjoying it, and I think that's fun. I think right now, if you wanted to, we should play some Warzone so we can get comfortable with playing, customizing and playing Warzone, because I think we're going to split our time if Jalen ever decides to go back to play Warzone. But I think it is going to be a case where maybe we get annoyed with the multiplayer and we want to run a Warzone match. I don't know how to play Warzone, and when I went into it to play it just to do the Reaper Souls, I was like, this is irritating. So I don't want to have that experience. So I want to be able to take the experience I'm having with the multiplayer and transfer it over. So we need our expert Jalen to help us out there, and then I can try to make hopefully I have a different experience with playing with y'all than I would by myself, because now that I know some of the mechanics of the game, I can probably get into Warzone a little bit better than I used to, because honestly I did not want to play Call of Duty. So right now I want to play Call of Duty, so this will be the best time for me to get introduced into Warzone and not feel like it's cumbersome. So yeah, anyways, that's my thoughts on Call of Duty at this moment. I've been playing a lot of it. I'm having a good time. Do I want to spend $100? Heck, but that might
Y'all
just,
ready for this?
That might just be the case.
Breath shotgun meta in Warzone.
Yeah, I think they said that they were going to fix that, right? They were going to do a big nerf to it. I saw something like that.
That's been the meta in Warzone. Keep your primary to hit people from far. Then you get up close. Dragon Breath shotgun. You can smoke them in any range.
Yeah, I think they said they were going to do a big nerf to shotguns coming up here, and they said it was like buried in some patch notes or whatever. But like I said, I haven't played Warzone. I don't know what that is. I know what it looks like for me in like these other modes is that people prefer to switch it up. I haven't found someone that's just constantly using the same thing over and over again, and I feel like I can beat a lot of things if I'm just sticking to my guns of how I played Call of Duty anyway. But we'll see how that works with Modern Warfare 3. But yeah, I think it's always going to be some outliers, some weird stuff happening. I just don't. I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want it to become an unbalanced piece of junk because that's not going to make me want to play it. And right now, I don't feel like that way at this very moment. Yeah. And I'm playing with all the people that play this game because ain't nobody else playing it right now. They're waiting on Modern Warfare 3. So the people that are playing it, and probably they are back because they're reaping, and it's good because it's a mix of people, It's people that's coming back for the reaping event, and there's people that's playing it because they know stuff's going to carry over. So I think we're getting a lot more casuals than we are just getting the hardcore dedicated. Obviously, the hardcore dedicated might have a little bit more of a incentive to use the meta crap, but I haven't run into somebody just annoyingly getting on my nerves. I mean, the only thing I could ever seen is somebody with a riot shield running around with a knife, and most of the time they're not that great. So not having that much of an issue fighting up against people because it's Call of Duty. So yeah. Any thoughts on Jalen on Warzone before we get into what we've been doing because we ain't get to it yet. Any thoughts on Call of Duty or any of that?
Man, I have to see how that Warzone is, man. I give it a shot, man, but it make me sleepy, man. Y'all know what that mean?
Yeah, I know. I mean, it is what it is. I'm just telling you that at this point it's opportune, but it don't gotta be. It's just more so opportune now because I'm actually interested in it. But you know how I go. But okay, well let's go straight to what you've been playing, what you've been up to, what you've been doing.
For me, I mean, I was traveling a little bit. I went to like Howard Homecoming, and my mom, those sorts of things. But I ain't really been playing anything specific. I mean, I was on Overwatch. That's always the thing. And then I'm at the end of the game, we'll see it start. So I'm finna try to beat that try to finish that up this week. So that'd be an accolade for me. But other than that, games and stuff like that, nothing for real. Yeah.
Okay. Well, how was the Howard Homecoming? Was that a new experience for you? I know it was probably a different experience than our home native. What was that like?
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Yeah, cool.
I went last year. Yeah, I mean, it's good to see a lot of black excellence and a lot of different like age groups and stuff like that. You can't go wrong with black excellence. So, but,
can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
They had, but yeah, like you got like famous people that come there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was cool to like hang with some of my friends and stuff and be in that setting, even though none of us went to Howard. We seen this one dude. They do the little tailgate type thingy, like with the tents and stuff like that. They do that like when there's like big like parking lot type thing, but they stopped letting people in. Either that or people was just flooding real, like going in real slowly because there was only a couple security guards or whatever. And then eventually they just stopped, gave up, and they just like, y'all just get in. So everybody just started flooding in there. It was still fine, nothing crazy happened and stuff like that. But before that, people was hopping these large fences. These fences had to be at least like 15 feet. And they had like some spikes on the end. I seen one dude, I don't know if you ever hop fences, but when you finna hop that fence, like you got the you're getting ready to jump down, but if you're getting ready to jump down, you might be shaking a little bit because you're trying to balance your hands on the thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So that dude was doing that, and he was trying to get up off the fence, but his pants got impaled, so he didn't get the that boy pants was stuck on that fence, bro. I'm like, boy, if you would have dropped down, them pants would have tore bad, bro. So he had to raise up, and these bars like the little divider for the little thing. They probably went in there, bro. Them boys had to be at least like 6 inches long, bro. So that boy had a major hole in his pants, bro. I'm looking like, dang, bro. I'm like, it wasn't even worth getting in, especially they flooded it right after to get in there. Like the security guards gave up like 15 minutes later. I'm like, he really had a hole in his pants, bro. Them boys got impaled. I'm like, he's sorry. I should have recorded that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Cool,
the adventures are it's all worth it when the adventures come. But yeah, well, I'm glad you had some fun, had some good times, and you know, play something, but not much. But you know, that's good because I don't think I ever. I mean, I don't think I would ever, you know, at this point, no. But that would be something interesting I would want to see because you don't get used to it. I feel like I've never gotten used to being around a lot of my peers like that. And I went to all mostly black high school and stuff, but not in like a college setting. So it was always, you know, it is what it is. But I mean, I think that stuff is nice too, to be able to experience that. So, well, good on you. But what did I do? I didn't do much. Like I said, I was playing Call of Duty a lot, and I started playing Prey, and just got my Steam Deck organized to the point where I can, you know, swap out games that I want to play really quickly. So right now I'm playing, as I was saying, I was playing the Super Mario, the RPG, the Thousand Year Door, and I'm playing Prey. So those two games right now, I'm kind of just playing as I'm falling asleep, or if I'm downstairs with the kids or something. It's something I can easily run and enjoy. And actually, Prey is a really good game. And you know, Thousand Year Door, I never played it, so I'm playing it now. So both really good games, and it's taking my attention away from Call of Duty. But unfortunately, I got to get these Reaper Souls, so now I gotta go back to playing this again. But yeah, I've been playing those games, spending most of my time in that, and you know, it's really cool to just have a Steam Deck. Steam Deck is really awesome. I didn't, you know, you kind of take you got a bunch of technology, you take stuff for granted, but that is still one of the best things I've bought in recent history because it's just nothing is competing with it, and it's in a league of its own, especially with the sleep state, and you can just turn it off, turn it right back on, and you're right back where your game is. There's no PC out there that can do that, and it's only the Steam Deck, so those types of things really, you know, sell the Steam Deck for me in that whole experience. And I can see why a lot of people try to push to have mostly all their games play on there because it is probably the best experience for a handheld right now. But yeah, that's about it. And family's good as usual. We went to go to the pumpkin village. My sciatica started acting up, so I had to get up out of there. I'm like, oh, bro. I was like, I was getting out the car, and I could just feel it tensing up. And I was like, bro, I'm not going to make it up these hills. So she was like, what, you want to go turn around? We just got here. I said, listen. I said, do you want me to pass out in front of these people? You want me to fall over? You got a wagon in the back? You got a wheelchair or something? No wheelchair. All right, we out of here then. So yeah, we plan to go back Friday, but yeah, unfortunately, my old age caught up to me. I was trying to do that relay marathon, and that it put me on my back, G. So I'm going. You know, I told you I was going to physical therapy and all that stuff. So I got physical therapy tomorrow. I can't believe it, bro. I was like, bro, I am not even 30. But yeah. Nah, it is what it is.
What you got? 30 days?
I got like, yep. I got like 30 some days. I got less than that.
20.
Yeah, like
29.
29. Yeah. Yep. So it'll be around. It's almost it's close enough. So it's fine. It's fine. Like your body's falling apart. It's fine. Everything's fine. I feel like that dude in the fire. Like, it's fine. And that little meme. He's just sitting down. Yeah, everything's fine. Yeah. But
dog in that fire.
yeah,
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. But yeah, so overall, everything's good. Kids good. The family's good. It's just, playing the games I can when I can. All right, let's get into it. 30 minutes in, and we talked about something, but we want to talk about the big controversy. Spider-Man 2 did good. It's controversial, though. It's so controversial, in fact, that everybody on Twitter that's an Xbox fanboy is trying to make this game seem like the worst game possible, that there are so many bugs, that it's too short. And what they really need to just say is that they want it on their Xbox. I think that is truly what would help them resolve this craziness of depicting games against one another, is that every game just come out on every system. Because honestly, it's a good game, and they know it, and we know it. It can be short because that's what they do. They make short games. I would never take anything away from Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, but it was a short game, and it was still great. I played it. So it's not as if these games aren't good. It's literally people just creating problems and narratives online, and it's controversy. Now, the one thing I can say is that Spider-Man has shown that they have sold, 2.5 million copies in 24 hours or something like that. That is a very strong start. I mean, we're talking Final Fantasy 16, I think, sold 3 million over, a 7-day period. This is 24 hours. So you obviously can tell that this game is going to be a huge success once the real numbers come out. But on top of that, this is the biggest first 24-hour sale window for any PlayStation game in history. So all the other ones, this is the one, and it's only on PS5. I'm confused on that. So I'm like, is it on the PS5 console in history? Because I'm like, I for sure know God of War Ragnarok outdid it, but maybe Spider-Man just did that with just the PS5 only, because it's not on the PS4. So yeah. A lot of success there. Hats off to Insomniac. I already knew that they were going to be special when they came over here and made one of Xbox's best exclusives and then left. And it was a throwaway. It's Sunset Overdrive. I still appreciate that game to this very day. And yeah, I knew that they were going to be great. Everybody knew that. So I'm just now happy to see that they were the ones that first hit to crack ray tracing and 60 FPS games. They were one of the first ones to crack this fast travel loop. Not in this in this instance, but the way that they kind of implemented it is really, really good. So I think that they are not only showing that they can make a great game, but they're also innovating on the gaming genre. So I think people need to just stop hating, bro. And just, if you want to play the game, go buy a PS5. And if you want to wait, just wait. I'm waiting until it comes out on PC. There's nothing wrong with that, but you can always appreciate quality work, and that is what they put into this game. So hats off to them. And I'm glad they actually found a lot of success there. Any thoughts on Spider-Man 2? Is you picking it up, Jalen? I know you got a PS5, that mug dusty. What you gonna do? What you buying, Spider-Man? You know who?
I got Overwatch on my PS5.
That's like I said. Stop playing the same game, Jalen. Man, you almost as bad as the 2K bros. You might as well just go play Madden in 2K. You gotta play something else. You gotta play something else. Well, no, you don't. The Sea of Stars has been the most recent thing, and that's you've been at a 7-8 month hiatus. When the last time you bought something?
Final Fantasy 16.
Oh yeah, you did. Did you? So where you at in Final Fantasy 16? I forgot all about that. Where are you?
Man, I forgot about it too. When I figured out I used the square button, I just play. I ain't gotta play it that much. They gotta use 2 buttons.
Yeah, you use 2 buttons, G. It's very pretty to an extent. But yeah, I was like, this is not a console selling game. This is not for me anyway. So I would not. I was like, I'm kind of glad Josh just skipped it because I was like, I wouldn't buy no console for this game, but I would for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So yeah, I'm not finna keep crapping on that game. Try it out, guys. I'm telling you, it's an experience to be had, and if you enjoy it, you enjoy it, and if you don't, you don't. But Final Fantasy 16 was not for me, and I offed it for a good decent amount of my money back because I bought it for like 48 and I got 43, so I ain't spend that much. And I'm happy that I felt like Assassin's Creed Unity. It was nowhere near as bad as Unity, but I was kind of like, let me off it off to the next sucker. But it was nowhere near as bad as Unity. I don't want to inflate that. It's just more so. It's more so I just didn't like it. So, but yeah. Anything from the Spider-Man? Anybody copping? Anybody appreciate that success? Anybody even appreciate Insomniac for doing what they do? You know, this is the gaming genre. This is the gaming community coming to. I mean, it's still they still top tier to me. I mean, I don't really see nobody else really doing what they can do with these consoles yet. Cyberpunk couldn't do it. In my opinion, they needed more time. Spider-Man is the only ones. I mean, Insomniac is the only companies that have been really, and like them in Coalition, I put them in a box because they really know how to work on a console. I mean, Naughty Dog too, but they truly know how to pull the most out of it, you know? So, any thoughts on them and their success? Anything like that before we continue on?
Nah, I'm play it when it's on PC. But I mean, all the stuff I've seen about the game seems good. The movement I like, because one of the reasons I liked Arkham Knight a lot was the movement about like flying around the city was really well done and fluid. And I know Spider-Man you always can swing, but they added like the gliding and stuff like that, so it looks very fun and fluid to get around the city. So at least they've mastered that part. Like they've made the best Spider-Man movement. And then, you know, I'm personally just, I don't care about open world, like city, going around, like saving people. But that's what you do in Spider-Man. So when I'm in the mood for it, I'm going to play the other games. But yeah, I mean, it's really good. And they're definitely some of the best in the industry right now. So can't hate on them for anything that they've done because they're really good.
Yeah. I think that's where you gotta leave it, especially if it's not for you. Like, you just gotta leave it at that. You can't really be hating on it. You can't really get mad at it either. It's like, it is what it is, because you know that the quality and throughput that they put into the game shows enough before you even get to what the game is. You know, that is what it really sells me on buying these games. Sometimes it's not the type of game it is, but it's the quality that the studio put in it to make sure that it's realized in that full fashion. Even like Hogwarts Legacy, like I could care less about the game's mechanics and the gameplay because I didn't think it was fun at that point. But the amount of stuff they put in the game to make it feel like you were in Hogwarts and you're a student is just, it ain't matched. It's not matched anywhere. That's why they got. You know, that's why they sell so well. That's why they did so well, is because it's just not matched. So when they do that and they hit that mark, all you can do is appreciate. All you can do is appreciate, even if it ain't for you. Well, let's move on then. Since Spider-Man did nothing for you guys, let's move to Alan Wake 2. So the PC Master Races, myself included now, I can say I'm part of the PC Master Race. They're realizing they aren't the masters. They need these $500 consoles to run games that they previously $1,200, $1,300, $1,500 PCs ain't never gonna get nothing close. So people are upset, and I honestly don't think it's rightfully so. I think there's a lot of AI, a lot of CPU and intensive hardware accelerated jumbo to make these games look as good as they look on the type of stuff it's on. But I think the big problem with a lot of people are being upset is because they feel like their PCs are stronger than these consoles. And in reality, sometimes these consoles are more advanced technology wise and have more features and like the SSD and things like that they just don't have. So a lot of people are upset. A lot of people are upset with the whole benchmarking or system requirements. And I have to disagree, unfortunately. I just have to disagree with being upset about it. I think if you're rocking something, 5 years old, 4 years old, that's a console generation, G. And I think at this point in time, technology is moving way too fast for you to think you're going to get 8 years out your system. I think that's just not the case anymore. And it sucks. I understand that. But those PCs are built to have a backlog like no other. You just may not be able to run the most up-to-date, most high-end things. And when you ready to upgrade, you can, and you'll have those games still there. That's nothing like the backlog of a PC. But to think that everybody has to cater to an 8-year-old GPU, 7-year-old, 6-year-old, 5-year-old, even a 4-year-old GPU, I just don't see it no more. 2020 was the cutoff time. If you probably didn't buy nothing, but after that, it sucks. I think the only one that can make a case was AMD's 55,000 series, but everything else is a no-go. Like I think that there is a lot to be said about the technology in these games. I think there's a lot to be said about pushing the envelope on these games, and I think there's a lot to be said about just optimization. There's so many situations where the games aren't optimized properly that makes it feel as if you can get more power out your gaming system, but then there's actual leaps and bounds ahead that you just can't make up that difference. I would say in a cyberpunk sense, you can't make it up. You can just try to optimize it as best as possibly you can, which they did a lot of over time, but there is understanding that game is what that game came out, Josh, 2020.
Yep.
And it's a benchmark for most consoles, most PCs. Like most people can't run that game at this full-fledged, and it came out in 2020. So I don't really see how people are still under the impression that a game coming out in 2023 will be able to support a 5 to 6 year old GPU. It's just not the case. So I think that it's time for people to kind of understand we're in this next generation, and there's amazing opportunity for you to buy a Series S for $299, and you'll be able to play Alan Wake. Not an issue, and you'll probably be able to play it better than what you could play it on those other consoles on your PC. Because I was trying to pull up the Alan Wake 2's requirements. And I think it's like a like system requirements. I'm pretty sure I saw like they needed I need like a 4070 just to run it at like 1080, like 1440p. Yeah. Recommended settings for 1440p at 30 FPS, medium graphics. You need a 6600 XT with FSR2 balanced. And then for 1080p at 60 at medium settings, you need a 3070 or a 6600 XT. And just to get ray tracing at the bare minimum at 30 frames per second, you still need a 3070 with a 1080p 60 FPS, you need a 4070. So yeah, a 4070 for 1080p with ray tracing. I mean, that makes sense because it's path tracing on too. So
Yeah, we've got to the point where, especially with ray tracing, but a lot of features you're gonna need to have a modern GPU that can support all the features like FSR or whatever, the latest version, as well as still tweak your system because for high end PC players, they're used to buying the biggest graphics card and then putting everything on max, and then you're just set to go. But in a lot of situations, that's not even going to be possible because, like, even with like Cyberpunk,
yeah,
I don't know if there might be, but I don't know if there's a GPU that can do full ray tracing at 4K with no you know,
reconstruction
upscaling or whatever
yeah,
from DLSS and all that stuff. And a lot of the older cars, because I was reading about what John Linneman from Digital Foundry had to say, like on Twitter.
yeah.
A lot of graphic cards, people have been used to them because the last generation was really long, and games didn't change that much between like on PC at least, between PS3 and PS4. Games didn't change that much as far as like a PC requirements. So you could get by with a 5, 6, 7-year-old GPU. But like, back in the day when he was growing up, every 3-4 years you need a new GPU, and he's saying it's just time to expect that because with ray tracing and all these other features, you're not going to be able to sit around with the 8-year-old GPU and think you can play the newest games. Even now, like I had a 3080 when it came out. It wasn't like the highest end, but it was like a mid range. But now it's starting to fall out of like the mid range down to the low range. So that's something that I'm gonna have to think about in the next 2 years or so. Like I can play Cyberpunk at a decent place, but if I want to play Alan Wake on PC, pretty much I'm gonna be playing it at 30 FPS, unless I want to. I guess my second point, the PC players are also gonna say like, oh, but I can just download this mod that reduces some of the graphic settings and it's running great on my system. And I think that's a okay argument too, because PC, like, there are things that you can do to make it run better on any system.
Yeah.
But like at that point, you are compromising the game, and it might still look good, but that's not what the developers wanted the game to look like. So
No, I think that pulling back features isn't the greatest thing to kind of compensate for like lack of strength in the graphics cards. But I get it too. I mean, I understand. I had to dial back Cyberpunk. I mean, obviously I couldn't run it with path tracing on. I only had some ray tracing because I wanted to make sure I still hit a certain target. Now, if I wanted to do 30 FPS and max everything out, I could, but I didn't want that. So there's like an understanding of where you want to be as well. And that's why I said these are the recommended settings or requirements for Alan Wake 2, but there's plenty of more room to be pulled out of this, especially if you're not having ray tracing on at all and having that stuff turned off. I'm pretty sure that wouldn't be an issue. It's just more so you're not, like, people should not expect to be able to do ray tracing on cars that wasn't dedicated for ray tracing at the time they came out. That doesn't make sense. So there are certain things that you should not be expecting your graphics card to be able to accomplish. My graphics card I shouldn't expect ray tracing on my graphics card. They said it was built for that, but I know for a fact the numbers don't add up. So I'm not expecting ray trace performance on my graphics card. I'm expecting high frame rates at ultra settings with that stuff turned off. That's what I'm expecting for the next 3 to 4 years. And at that point, I'll probably be upgrading to something that could potentially bring in ray tracing, but it's not the selling factor for me at this point. Like, I could care less about it to an extent. Like there are some things that really elevates the presentation, like in Cyberpunk there's an elevation of that. That's why I chose to try to target it. But there are some things that I'm just like, it's not necessary, it's not needed, and I can turn those things off. But you have to understand what your card was built for, and most cards aren't built for path tracing. It's only a select few because NVIDIA had created some, movie magic basically to make it work. So there's that. They have to kind of put it in perspective, one, and two, understand that it's not, sometimes everything isn't an optimization issue. It's just literally a more demanding game. Same thing went with Cities Skyline 2, where they said they were actually targeting 30 FPS and trying to make sure that we had a good 30 FPS experience, and everybody thought it was going to be 60. So when the requirements came out and they were a little bit more tough, it's a next gen game, and people, I guess you get used to and comfortable to something, you start to not realize that there is some innovation going on here. So that was another one that had people up in arms. But my stance is simple. I think I understand where I bought my card, and I understand where I'm at. I think AMD is not in the space right now to be even thinking about ray tracing in a lot of games. Older games, sure. First iteration of ray tracing, sure. But anything upcoming and new, I don't see them filling that gap as quickly as they want, especially not with their upscaling just yet. It may be down the line, it gets a lot better, but right now I bought that card for power, and power in a way where I can push frame rates with ultra settings on, not including ray tracing or global illumination or something like that. I just did not have that on my radar at the time. Now, there's plenty of games that does run it really well because they have a different type of implementation. But I think anything in Unreal Engine 5 is going to give my card a run for its money. I just think that's the truth. So, I understand that may not be the best thought process, but I'm a consumer, and I kind of have to understand what I'm buying before I buy it. If I'm not really understanding what I'm buying, then you're not really doing yourself justice there. I think you're kind of pimping yourself out to anybody at that point because you don't really know. So make sure you're in the know. Don't regret your purchases, and try to find things that you can hold its value for what you're looking for. I would never buy a 7900 XTX at full price because I just know that wasn't the card that was meant for me, because I know what I wanted. But then I saw some justifications and what I was going to be doing and some things that may come down the pipeline, and I was like, okay, I can get this for a really good price. It was worth it. But sometimes you have to think about that before taking those big leaps. But anything else on that, Josh? I appreciate the insight from John. Anything else?
No, I think people will get more comfortable with it once we start seeing more games that come out on PC that are like justifying your purchase. Because that's the big thing. Like, I'm not gonna buy a new graphics card until I feel like there are a couple games that I really want to enhance my experience with, and a new graphics card is gonna let me do that.
Yeah.
Most recently, there have been a lot of bad PC ports, like Jedi and Dead Space and stuff like that. That would make it seem like, well, this is just the developer's fault. I'm not going to upgrade, and that might partly be true. But once PC ports are in a better space, games are going to be more demanding, and you're going to have to upgrade at some point.
Yeah, you're gonna have to figure it out for sure. But okay. What else? Super Mario Wonder, Jalen. Tell us what you think about it. I know you copped, right? I thought I could have sworn I heard him say he copped. You copped,
I
right?
said the game would probably be interesting or something like that. What they want, the 70 ball for it?
They want 60. 60 for Super Mario Wonder.
Yeah, that game wasn't finna get caught, bro. Will said he played it. He said it was pretty interesting. I mean, it's different because you don't know what's going to happen with that Wonder thing, whatever mode, or, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really look at it besides when they had showed it before. But I mean, it seemed like it's straight. You know, it's a little touch of something different. But again, I ain't played the game, so I
Yeah.
don't know. You ain't cop it?
Nah, I ain't cop. I was like, it might
Man,
be
you
something
say you
cool
was
to
finna
play
cop
with.
that.
Nah. Don't put that on me. We all
Dude,
know who
nigga,
said. We all knew who said they really wanted it, and that was JBZ. But
I'm waiting for Paper Mario.
yeah, it'll be out soon. Isn't it this year or no?
I think next month, ain't it?
Yeah, I think it's next month. But yeah, no, I think it looks really good. I mean, I would have no problem buying it. You know me. I'm like, I'm not gonna play it right now, and then be playing it with my wife. I mean, that would be the only way I play it, and it's okay. She's still playing Zelda these many months later. She's dedicated. She's gotten. I think I looked at her time not too long ago, and I think she was at 120 hours. And I was like, "What are you doing in this game? How have you not beaten it yet?" And she just sit around and she's a collector. She's a harvester, and I don't get it, but it's her thing, and she enjoys it. So I think she's still missing one of the bosses or whatever, or the powers. But yeah, I like literally the girl has done everything in the game mostly. And she's done a lot more than I have. I walked in a room and I saw her on top of a dragon knocking scales off. I was like, "What are you doing, yo?" And she just be doing stuff in there, and I just don't get how. I don't know how she get it done because she's like super uncoordinated. But yeah, she's getting it done. She's having fun, and Super Mario Wonder is not on her list of priorities right now. It's still all about Zelda. So at some point when it's cheaper, I'll buy it, but not right now. And that's probably going to be on I wouldn't say cheaper. I'd say I'd be getting somebody else to discount it before Nintendo ever would. That's what I mean when I say cheaper, because this Nintendo I'm not gonna be 60 till it's 2027 2028. That was still 60. It said still $60 for a Switch toy. Ain't the Switch 3 out? They like, nah, that was still 60, baby. They said, look, inflation, it might be 65. But yeah, so yeah, nah, I'm not copping yet, but I think that's a good game and it looks fun, and I like the wonder modes and the wonders on each mode that you can go look for. People were saying it was a little easy, but I thought it was. I think it still looked cool. So I definitely give it a shot at some point. It's just one of those things where it's Nintendo. They're not going nowhere. I don't have to buy in early because the value gonna always be there, and I don't need to play it right now because I got plenty of other things to play. So
yeah. Real quick. That Paper Mario, they come out next year in 2024. I was wrong. So just
yeah.
Okay.
Dang. Yeah. But yeah. So I mean that's pretty much. I really have much else on Mario Wonder. Anything you saw, Josh, that you thought was interesting, or I know the only thing that outside of the Wonder Worlds, that's the only thing I really saw. I mean, they said that the animation, because I did watch Digital Foundry's video, and they were talking about the animations and how they were pulling stuff from different types of Marios, and I was like, they really going in depth on this Mario game, ain't they? But I don't know how big Mario is until it comes around again, because I'd be like, it's just another drop in the bucket. But then you realize, nah, this is Nintendo. This is the hit you across your head $60 boys. And everybody went excited for it. I wonder if it's definitely not gonna outpace Spider-Man 2, but I wonder where the charts end up at when it comes to Super Mario Wonder, because they both came out the same day, and see what that looks like. So might be a little bit of an upset. What you think, Josh? You think they can pull it off?
I mean, to be fair, the Switch install base is like 120 million. So
yes.
even if like 20% of people buy it, that could outdo Spider-Man. But I would say Spider-Man is big enough that a lot of people are excited for it, and it's the newest like next gen game, so it should deserve the number one spot. But you never know. With Nintendo games, Mario might outpace it over the whole year. Because like you said, the
Oh,
value
okay,
can
okay.
change.
Yeah.
And they're gonna get that $60 every every sale every day of the year. So, um,
Yep.
you know.
No, no, no.
But otherwise, I haven't seen much of Mario Wonder. I saw like the trailer, and it looks fun. But for me, I don't really play Mario games, especially like by myself. Like I like
Mm-hmm.
Odyssey 'cause it's more of a single player focused one. But for like these type of Mario games where you're doing level to level, I prefer personally just to prefer it play it with somebody else. Maybe later I might pick it up, but yeah, I mean it looks fun. I just it's not on my radar right now.
Yeah. That's kind of how it always goes with Mario games for me. I'm just like, it's not on my radar. I mean, they could be most polished platformer out there. I've never been a big platform guy anyway. And it's only a certain ones that kind of hold a real, spot in my heart. Like Rayman Legends was one of my favorite platformers it was that for a very long time when it first came out. Those types of games, it has to have some type of gimmick or something cool to it, like Hi-Fi Rush, like those types of games where they have some type of additional music, rhythm, or whatever the case may be, type of addition to it that I really enjoy. Like, but Hi-Fi Rush was a beat 'em up game I love, and it had that whole aspect of timing and rhythm. So, really cool game there. Um, but yeah, Super Mario Wonder, check it out. It's out now, $60, and it's gonna be that way for a little bit. So if you want to buy it, go ahead. I think it's a good game though. Not right now, not right now, Nintendo. Um, Xbox Showcase is coming 2 days from now. I think it's coming out on, well, you guys will be hearing this on Wednesday, so it'll be coming out next day. Thursday. So the Xbox Showcase is only for third parties, which is a little disappointing, but it's not really because they have plenty of games come out this year, and they have to figure out a way to keep us all engaged. And I think splitting up Bethesda's and Activision's and their studio directs or like there's so much that they have now, it's just kind of ridiculous. And obviously I wouldn't expect them to have anything Activision ready that would make any sense. But seeing what's coming up next with Bethesda, seeing what's coming up next with their actual home studios, getting some updates on some games, and then on top of that, we're getting like a whole thing dedicated for third parties like Alan Wake 2 and things like that, where they're probably going to finally show off some actual gameplay of Alan Wake 2 on the Xbox. Because I don't know, have we seen Xbox footage yet, Josh? Or have you seen any Alan Wake 2 console footage? Because I don't remember seeing. All I see is PC.
Yeah, because they have the Epic Store PC exclusive right now. So
Yeah.
if we did see console footage, I don't think it's been explicitly like stated this is it running on the Xbox.
Yeah.
Because with like a lot of trailers, they just show like a generic trailer and don't tell you where it's actually played.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'd say at least Control on the Xbox played and ran well, but still we should expect 30 FPS for it. I don't know what resolution, though. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my thing. I wonder if it's going to be like some type of 1080p or some upscaling, and then they might have like some ray tracing effects at 30 FPS mode, but it's not going to be as bombastic as it is going to be on the PC. But I want to see that because if in case I have a backup plan, and if I feel like it's going to run well on the Xbox or on my PS5, I might just buy it on that because why not? But because I am planning on playing Alan Wake, but I don't know if I'm gonna buy day one yet. I think I am though because I want to play it, but I got plenty to play right now. I don't really need it. But it's just so many games, bro. There's so many freaking games I want to play, and there's so little time that it's just like it's overwhelming. But yeah, Alan Wake 2 is coming out this Friday. and Thursday is a little bit of a short window for you to get some gameplay of it. But I think the embargo. When does Alan Wake's 2 embargo lift? And this is supposed to be. This is supposed to be about the showcase and not that. It lifts on Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you're going to have a little bit of time right before then to not only get the reviews, hopefully we can see what the PlayStation and Xbox looks like. And then at that point, hopefully the showcase truly shows that running on the Xbox. So, because theirs is, oh crap! So the third party digital showcase airs Wednesday actually. So you get it on Wednesday. I've been saying Thursday this whole time, but it's actually tomorrow or to the day of we dropping this. We're gonna get it at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where they talk about those games and Alan Wake, which is a launch trailer, of course, and all that stuff. So hopefully you can see it then, and then on Thursday we get the embargo lifts, and you'll be able to see the reviews. And I really just hope it's not a Lords of the Fallen type situation. So
what happened with Lords of the Fallen?
Bruh, I ain't tell y'all about Lords of the Fallen.
No, you're supposed to keep us updated. You're supposed to have it.
Goodness. Well, they kind of. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I told you I got too much to play, but I was going to, and it's $46 right now, and I was going to because I was just like, well, it's 46 because of PC, but it's probably still 60, 70 on the
I was going to say, boy, tell me it ain't so.
But it's still a good game. The PC runs really well, and it has a lot of updates that have fixed it. But the PS5 and Xbox version, like, they openly admitted the Xbox version wasn't up to par. They didn't do that for the PS5. The PS5 version, unfortunately, had a lot of frame rate issues and drops in boss fights, and it was a lot of issues with Unreal Engine 5 on there. I haven't seen if they've ironed it out, but they have been diligently putting out a lot of patches. So I think the experience is much better than where it started, but unfortunately it was overshadowed by a lot of technical issues. And this is the first Unreal Engine 5 game like that really came out that was under that. I mean, it's not the first, but it's like one of the first. So I know it's under the gun for that.
They were using all the features and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. So I think they got a handle on most of it, but I haven't been looking into it as of yet. Because honestly, I was like, there's plenty of, PC gaming has taught me it's better to just wait. Don't buy these games yet, man. Just wait until they see what happens, because at the end of the day, these games cannot run well. They can be crappy, and you're going to be having a bad experience, and you got plenty of other things to play that run well. So, same thing happened with Lord of the Fallen, unfortunately. But, I still think it's a good game. A lot of people that have played on the PC thinks it's really fun. Like Lords of the Fallen is still one of those games where you can literally start from the beginning and finish it with your friend to the end, and you don't get separated. So their online mechanics is really fun in that regard. So I definitely want to try it out with you guys if you're open to playing it at some point, but not right now. I'd probably be down the line when it's a little bit cheaper or something. But I heard that the bosses are enjoyable, the story is okay, and the world, the Umbral world where you can go between two worlds, is what's really cool about it, and the whole mechanics behind that. So yeah, it's unfortunate because I think they have a solid game. It's more so about now not having those technical issues, like basically like Star Wars. It's not on that level though. Like the game boots. It's not a Star Wars Jedi Survivor situation on PC or on the Xbox and PS5. But this is the first time I've seen it where they got the brunt of the stick. And it's the first Unreal Engine game. So I was like, this is the first time I've ever seen the Xbox and the PS5 get a bad, take versus the PC and the PC having a decent experience. So, We'll see how it keeps going, but that's a little worrisome to me, especially if you're, this is a hardware that you could target because it's the same across the board and you didn't optimize it properly. That worries me. So, but yeah, that's what happened with them. Back to the showcase though. Outside of that, they didn't talk about much what they're going to be showing. It's going to be like a 30-minute deal. They'll have 20 minutes of trailers, and then they're going to have a Dragon Infinite Wealth. They're going to have the Ark game finally be talked about, and then they just mentioned Alan Wake 2. Those are the things that they mentioned. But they haven't mentioned anything else that they're going to be showing. Obviously, that's not going to take up the whole 20 minutes, but we'll see what happens there. But yeah, anybody excited about this? Anybody care?
I mean, I can't really be excited because I don't know what's going to be there, but I at least want to check it out. Might get a good trailer or two of something that's upcoming, but I think mostly it's just stuff we expect for the rest of the year. We still got two more months for the rest of the year and a little bit of a preview for January. But yeah, I don't think it's anything that's gonna be too big.
What if they bought Alan Wake 2 and put it in Game Pass? It's about third-party offerings coming to Game Pass, but I'm pretty sure Alan Wake 2 is not one of them. But if it is
something on their Twitter, I think it might be one game that might be big, but I don't think it'll be Alan Wake. I feel like
it's too
big for that game.
Yeah. We'll see. The pre-orders and everything, it's too late. People have already started to buy, and they're gonna be canceling pre-orders. It's not good. It's not a good look. So, I think that one might be off the table, but there may be something down the line that might jump into there, and that'd be interesting to see.
Is Dead Space already on Game Pass?
It has come. It's coming to Game Pass next month. Yes.
Okay.
Or it might be in there now.
One of the games. Dead Space is gonna be on Dead Pass. On Game Pass.
I think it might. No, I don't think it's in there yet. But yeah. So there's recently added City Skyline 2. I forgot that's coming to Game Pass too. Man. Yeah. But yeah, Ishin. It doesn't say yet, but I know it's coming soon. I think it's coming next month. When they when they do these drops for Game Pass or whatever. So, I mean, like I said, Game Pass has been cooking lately. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, they got Liza P. They had Starfield. They had Warhammer Dark Tide. They are recently going to be putting in Ishin. They have Persona 3 coming. They have Persona 5 in there. Forza Motorsport. You're really getting a good variety. I'm not trying to make it like an ad, but it's a nice little thing right now because as much variety as there is games right now, I feel relief when I see one going to Game Pass because I feel like I can take some time to not play it and still know I can get to it at some point. Because it's it takes a little bit of that spending off of you if you were going to buy it anyway. Some of these games I wasn't, but Liza P, I was definitely want to give it a shot for sure. And then there's a lot of variety there. So loving it. I am loving it. But yeah, what else? I think the other thing I wanted to talk about was Tekken 8, which I don't know much about, so I'm gonna let you fill it in for the people, Josh. What's going on with the Tekken 8 beta, and what's the controversy, or is there anything that's controversial, or is it just drama?
Yeah, the Tekken 8 beta went on recently, and there were a lot of positive things to say. People like Tekken is always fun, and it has some of the new characters. Or actually, I think it might be only like one or two new characters, but it had the new lady from South America. I forget her name. And people were playing it and they said it's fun, but they've been having a lot of issues with bad matches and like matchmaking. Because like Street Fighter 6 and Mortal Kombat came out and they both had like good online where they had rollback netcode, easy to find lobbies. I think you could filter by like connection, but anyways, whenever I played online, I never had like a laggy match. And even when I played against you, somebody who's on the other side of the world from me, we had a decent match with like a slight input delay. Whereas like with Tekken, I don't think it has rollback netcode, and a lot of the matches were bad, even within like your same region. So that's not good because Tekken 7, I think, well, all the Tekken games have that same issue where they're fun to play like in a tournament and stuff like that, but online it's a difficult situation, and that is just more of a highlight now because it's coming after Street Fighter, which kind of raised the bar for what you'd expect for like an online experience. And so a lot of people in the fighting game community have been talking about that and how Tekken is coming out pretty soon, and they would rather it not launch like in a bad place with online because it just makes it that a lot of people are going to drop off of it a lot faster.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because I like Tekken 8 a lot, and I don't want that to be like the stuff people. It's like it's something that's controllable that they can't like work on, because they're taken away from like a sound quality game, and I like Tekken's movement style and their combos. So, but I mean, obviously, I held off on buying Mortal Kombat 1. I'm more than likely gonna hold off on buying Tekken 8. But those types of games are enjoyable to jump in and kind of play around with a little bit. So I really don't want that to be like the case with that. And it's a pretty huge deal for the new Tekken game to come out. So we'll see. But you can buy the old one right now for like $8 and get everybody. So gotta love that backlog. But yeah, there's hopefully that's just something that can clear up. They don't have to deal with, and people can actually play the game and have some fun, because you definitely don't want to start off that way. And I just don't get how people haven't realized yet, or maybe they have and they just can't. They're just not up to snuff. But please delay y'all games if they are trash. If they come out buggy and like terrible, there is no reason for you to put it out. It is going to cause way more pain than anything. And I understand people trying to lay off people or something like that, whatever the case may be, because these companies I can tell when they're like, okay, rush the game out, lay off some of the supporting staff and let the main core group finish it up, because that's what it looked like they're doing most of the time. Because that makes the most sense to me. Because if you really cared about the game launch, you would not let it come in this state. But I think that's what's happening, man. I think there's a lot of that, and I think Cyberpunk went through the same experience, and they're now unionizing because they laid off a lot of people after they launched Phantom Liberty, which is great, by the way. But I did beat that. That's something I also beat, but now I'm all over the place. But Phantom Liberty popped out, and then they laid off a lot of their supporting staff. So the people that were remaining started wanting to unionize. So I think there is some practices going around that are probably bad, and I think that is what's causing a lot of these games to come out in poor states. Not polished. And I think Liza P was like a really big outlier because it ran well on everything: Steam Deck, PC, Xbox, PS5. And I gotta commend them for it. Every time I gotta commend them, because it was a small studio, but they got it done and it looked great. So makes me happy to see some people can still take their time and appreciate what they built. And I think they have found some success with it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the next one looks like. And I still got to beat that game too. So There's plenty to play, but I'm glad that people are getting recognized, especially when it comes to actually polishing and creating a good game. But okay, I mean, there's a few other things, but I think the biggest thing I want to know is what y'all game of the year is, man. What y'all game of the year is? Like, tell me right now. Is it Assassin's Creed Mirage? What is it for you, Jalen? Is it Sea of Stars? Are you really gonna go with that one? Don't like it's been a page turner. You put it down for too long for me. So what's that? What's the game for you? What's the game for you?
I only been playing the game for like, well, I bought it at the beginning of September, like September 5th.
Yeah, that's fine. That's that game. What, 15 hours? 15, 20?
Like 30.
No, don't inflate it. What is it? 25, 20?
Not slow. I think How Long to Beat got it listed at like 25.
Okay. Yeah.
You want me to put this game down so bad?
Nah, I don't want you to put it down. I'm just asking you a question. I said, what is your game of the year? What about
it's 27
you,
and a half hours.
27 and a half? Okay.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking about that game? Like, outside of, I mean, I know you kind of give us a little synopsis, but is it game of the year? Tender? No.
No, I don't think it's game of the year, but it's interesting to play. Overwatch game of the year.
Stop it. Stop it. You want people up in arms. You know that's the worst review game on Steam right now, right?
Yeah, that's cool. You said my game of the year, didn't you?
Yeah,
you see, I dropped 48 on that. I'm like, hey.
You said my game of the year. Okay, keyword my boy, mine's. All right, I get you. My bad.
Kills.
Oh my god, Overwatch 2 didn't come out this year, so you can't use it. So anything else that came out this year that might be your game of the year?
Oh shoot, yeah, I ain't even buy no games this year. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. See. I'm gonna come back to you. What about you, Josh? What about you? What you thinking? I mean, I can get y'all some listings, but top of mind, I got a few. What you thinking?
Armor Core.
I mean, I'll have to. What'd you say?
He said Armor Core.
I'm leaning that way. I feel like that's the game that I had the most fun with and like most memorable. The runner-up would be like Starfield. The only issue is like I played so much of Starfield that I have a lot of good stuff in my mind about it, but I have a lot of stuff that's not so good in my mind. But I forget what I played like the first half of the year. I know I played Zelda, but I haven't finished it, so I'm not gonna pick that. But yeah, I would say Armor Core is definitely in my top. I would say top 3 if I have like a top 5, and maybe Starfield might be like number 5. But I had to think about what else I played. I played Resident Evil 4, and I enjoyed it, but it wasn't my favorite game this year.
Yeah,
I have to see.
Yeah, so there was quite a bit of enjoyable games that I played, and top of mind, it would have to be Cyberpunk, Phantom Liberty, and then it would have to go to Starfield, and then I would have to do Zelda, and then I would go to Street Fighter 6. Resident Evil 4 being my last entry, because Resident Evil 4, although I found it to be amazing, it is a remake, and that experience was already had. It's just refreshing to play it in this such a way that it kind of hit me with all the nostalgia. Tears of the Kingdom, as I play it more, I see how significant their changes are, to the point where this is like a big, expansive game, and they were able to top what they already did, which is so Nintendo. So I can't knock them. They did great. I didn't play Baldur's Gate 3, so I'm not going to put it on my list. But that probably would be something else that would more than likely I can give the nod to, because that game came out of nowhere, and in no way did everybody think that game was going to be that. And if if Xbox could have secured that in Game Pass, that would have been amazing for them. But they thought it was gonna be some duds, so they was offering them boys pennies. They said, "What? We give them like $5 million? They put it on there for $5 million." I said, "Dang, I'm telling you, Microsoft money talk is different." But they basically called them little peons. And that's probably why it didn't come out with the PS5 version, because we still wait on that Xbox one. And they might just do it now that is out, Josh. I think Baldur's Gate 3 might be one of those games they announced for Game Pass, just because it's off tilter now, and they already had their PC release and their PS5 release, so their day one sales more than likely going to come straight from PC, because a lot of PlayStation games ain't gonna buy. So I could see them throwing in Baldur's Gate 3 for Game Pass when it launches in December or something like that. So, but yeah, I would have to go with those. I'm pretty sure Spider-Man 2 could fit in that bill if I was to play it. But right now, I'm just not interested in playing that Mario Bros. Wonder, and you can't really have like a well balanced thought if you ain't play everything. So, but I could tell you right now that the games that I had the most fun with for sure, it's going to have to fall within Tears of the Kingdom, Street Fighter 6, and Starfield. Like, those are my three. And Street Fighter 6, I have never, like, it was a very explosive 2 month, like a month and a half for me, where I was playing that junk constantly. And it was that fun, and I can still pick it up and play it now. I just don't have any incentive to do so because I got other stuff to play. But that game is still good. I ran a few matches when people came over, and we had a lot of fun, and it was enjoyable at that time too. It's a great co-op, great just online game, great, really good single player mode to get to know all the characters, and just have something else to do. So I think they nailed that, and I think Tears of the Kingdom did that too, because it's just so peaceful, single player, easygoing, fun, innovative, makes you think about stuff, how to create stuff, how to build stuff, and as you keep playing that game, you start to unlock things that you thought there's no way they put that in there, and they did. So there's just so much. So I can't knock that game either. And then, of course, Starfield, to me, really showcased what a Bethesda game is to me, because I just never could get into their settings. And what this did for me is it allowed me to experience two things I wanted to do for a very long time. Intergalactic travel, like actually going to different places and seeing what the outside space world would feel like to be explorer in there. And then also the uniqueness of what a Bethesda game is, the storylines, the expansive worlds, the collectibles, all the stuff that's just in it, the high quality details within the game. Like the game, I don't know why people think the game is ugly, but the game is, to me, they have such great lighting and environmental design that it far outshadows the characters. They just do like really good job with material work. So I think that game looks really good in my eyes, but some people can think otherwise. But I think Starfield knocked it out the park. I don't think it's a 10 out of 10, of course, but I think that they definitely have a leg in the game of the year contenders, because I think there's just so much there that you can't leave it off. So, but that'll be me. And then, Phantom Liberty, because it's an expansion, I don't want to say that it's going to get the nod, but for anything that's downloadable content-wise, like for the year, that's the one. That's the one that everybody should play. That's the one that's going to showcase truly what, Cyberpunk is. And their new ending, man, just play it. If you ain't played it yet, just go play it. Like, it's just so good. Like, everything about it is so good. You should just play it. If I'll put that on a priority list if you haven't. play Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty and play all the endings and just have a good time. Don't rush it. Just play it. But yeah, that's about it. I just wanted to kind of see where y'all heads was at, and I can see Jalen still ain't got nothing for me. Or do you? Was it Forza Motorsport? Was it Motorsport? I would just keep saying stuff I know you ain't gonna play. I would just keep saying random stuff. So it was Mirage, Assassin's Creed, huh? You a little Ubisoft fan, I see. But yeah, I mean, there's plenty of good games. You just got to go check them out, Jalen. Go take a look and see if there's anything that catches your eye. I really want to know, in the brain of someone that don't care, what is that's gonna pop out to you? Because that's what makes it interesting talking to you. Because you don't care, but what is gonna make something pop out that makes you do care? Like Sea of Stars, I would have no idea that would make something that you care, but it's like it has certain elements, obviously. But if you go out and look and say, okay, let's start a game of the year contenders. Okay, let me look at this list. Okay, what is in here that could make me want to play any of it? That's what I want to hear. So, but yeah, that's all I got. Anything you want to add? Anything y'all want to add before we skip up out of here?
No. I feel like we covered a lot today, and we definitely have more to talk about after this showcase. But yeah, I'm good. We can wrap it up.
Yeah, I got you. Next, I'm gonna do a little research, and then we can table that, and then I'll let you know a game of the year contender from, or a couple of them.
Couple of them. All right. I love to hear it. Oh, I forgot. Terrence got mad at me because I didn't buy Spider-Man 2. He said we were supposed to bond over. I was like, bro, I don't want to play Spider-Man 2. He said, how you going to miss out on greatness? So I got a whole thread of Terrence just talking crap. I was like, bro, I just didn't want to buy it. He said, you ready for, that was the first message. You ready for Friday? I said, oh, that game look cold, but I ain't get it.
Did he?
He said, what? Oh, look, bro, I ain't getting it because I just don't want it right now. I ain't got no time. I guess he could understand that. But yeah, yeah, that was a funny text thread for sure. But all right. Thank you guys for listening. If you got to this part of the show, you're the real OG. I want to thank you as always. I appreciate you even stopping by, listening to us talk and rant about stuff that we are interested in. But again, appreciate you. If you definitely got here, you can check us out on all the podcast locations. You can find me out on YouTube because it's going to be uploaded there as well at BCD Universe. Thank you guys for listening. And as always, I will talk to you all next week. Peace.